So if you've recovered from a breakup and you feel ready to start dating again, then maybe you're considering using dating apps. Well, in today's video, I want to discuss the 3 things that you need to look out for before you use those apps. So let's get on with it. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Andy O'Neill. I'm a breakup coach who specialises in helping people recover from breakups, get over their ex and move on to a bigger and better life. So if you're new here and you've not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that button because I release videos every single week and you never know, one of them might just help you. So you've gone through your breakup. Yeah, you've got over your ex, you've finally recovered and you feel ready to start dating again. One of the most common ways of people meeting today is through dating apps. And there's hundreds to choose from, right? We all know some of the biggest dating apps in the world that most people use. I'm not going to be specific about a single dating app, but I am just going to talk about 3 of the biggest things that you should watch for if you start dating through an app again. Now you need to bear in mind, right, that you've gone through breakup recovery. So you've been hurt, you've started working on yourself, you've healed, and you've come out the other side. So the last thing you want to do is end up in a situation that's going to really affect your well-being like the breakup did. You've got to be in self-protect mode, right? So there are some things that you need to look out for when using these dating apps. The first one is being love bombed. Love bombing is when you get completely overwhelmed with love and affection and constant messages about how much they're falling for you and how much you mean to them, and they're promising you the world and they can see that you're going to be together forever. The problem is, a lot of the time this happens before you've even met the person, right? You've matched online, you've shared a few messages, you start chatting, you're having those late night chats. You haven't even met in person yet. Yet this person is promising you the world. They're telling you that, I just know you're the right one for me. We're meant to be together. I can see us together in years to come. You've been told all this without even being in a room with that person, without sharing a coffee with that person, without even hugging that person. And you're being told you're the one. Now this happens quite a lot, right? And you need to be careful of this because it's not real. So it's inside their heads. But the problem is, because of what you've been through, because of that grief journey that you went on because of your breakup and how low and how vulnerable you was, it's easy to get pulled in by that. It's easy to feel that euphoric feeling of, oh my God, this person really wants me. And I've longed for this feeling for so long. You wanted it from your ex. You've recovered from that. You've accepted you ain't getting it. But now this person's coming along and giving you exactly what you've wanted. But you need to be careful. Somebody who's love bombing you is either great at manipulation or they have their own insecurities. They're looking to fall for somebody as quickly as possible. They've convinced themselves that you're the one for them without even meeting you. That kind of shows that they shouldn't really be dating you. They're not ready to date themselves. The last thing you need is to be getting involved in that sort of situation. Now, this isn't a criticism of somebody who love bombs, right? Because sometimes people do it without even realizing it, yeah? Because we can all get carried away in the moment. You feel that euphoric feeling, you get those butterflies in your stomach when the message appears and you know it's them and you're chatting, you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. I've never felt like this before. But you have to separate what's real to what's been played out in your head. Because if you've not met this person before, you don't truly know who they are and what they're like. What you're falling for is a version of them that you've created inside your own head. So if somebody's love bombing you, then they're not falling for the real you. They're falling for the version of you that they've created in their heads. And that's not a good place to be, right? Because what happens if you go along with it and you end up allowing yourself to fall for them too? And then you meet and you go on a few dates and you become head over heels in love with this person. And then they realize that this version of you that they created isn't real. And actually the person who you really are, they're not really suited to you. So they back off, they cut you off and they walk away. You're going to be left in the same position you was at the start of your breakup. That what you really want? You need to recognize those signs early. Somebody starts telling you that they've got feelings for you before you've even met, or even if you've just met for one coffee or a couple of dates, then you need to be careful. You need to understand that they don't know you yet. They don't know the true you. So what they're falling for isn't you. It's just that version of you that they've created. Now this is hard because the temptation is to fall for the things that they're saying because it's what you've wanted. You've wanted it for ages. Finally, someone's coming along and showing you that sort of emotion. But you need to stand strong in this moment. You can't go back to who you was during that breakup, right? No one's going to break it again. Remember that. You're too strong for that now. So recognize those signs. Love bombing is the first thing you need to look for. The second thing is insecurities. Now look, again, this isn't a criticism of somebody with insecurities, because we've all got them. I've got insecurities. You've got insecurities. Everybody has insecurities. That's the way life works, right? But when it comes to dating, you clearly don't want to get involved with someone who's got insecurities about relationships. Because what you want is somebody who's secure in a relationship, who's not got those fears, who's not got those anxieties. Because you had them. You had them during your breakup recovery, where you felt insecure, fearful, anxious. You felt all those feelings inside, but you worked on yours. You recovered. You worked on yourself. You grew. Your confidence grew, your well-being grew, and you come out the other side. So what you deserve is to meet somebody who's on an equal footing to you. Somebody else who's secure in a relationship, who's not needy, who's just looking for someone to validate their own self-worth. No, that is what you need to avoid. Now, my opinion is, and this is just my opinion, but on dating apps, you've got a far bigger chance of meeting somebody who's got those insecurities than in real life. And my reason is, it's so much easier to go on a dating app than to meet somebody in real life. So if you've got those insecurities, if you've got those anxieties, but you want to date, you're probably going to use an app instead. And I say that because I've been there. I've used apps when I've not been ready to date, and I've had those anxieties and those insecurities. And I've known deep down, shouldn't really be on here. It's not good for me, and it's not good for the person that I might meet. So again, it's not a criticism or a reflection of somebody. Sometimes people do it without realizing they've got those insecurities, but they have. But how do you tell? How do you know that someone's got these insecurities? Well, some of the biggest signs are that they question how long it takes for you to message them back. That's one of the biggest. I messaged you an hour ago and you've not messaged me back. Where have you been? How come you haven't messaged me back? Are you not interested? This is a person that you're not in a relationship with. You're not committed to. You don't even know. And yet they're questioning why it took you so long to message them back. That's a classic sign of somebody with insecurities. So if you match with someone and you've begun chatting, but you've found yourself being wary of how long it's taking you to message back, then you're feeding off their insecurities. You've recognized it subconsciously. Thing is, it's easy to ignore it. It's easy to ignore it because this person is treating you like they need you. And it feels good to feel needed, right? Gives us that worthiness, increases our self-worth, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for them. And the third thing to look out for is fake profiles. Trust me when I say dating apps are full of them, and it's getting so much harder to actually recognize who's real and who's not. But a lot of these fake profiles are there to gain your trust and eventually get money out of you. Now, this can happen whether you're male or female, but obviously my experience is seeing fake female profiles. And what gives them away generally is when they start having a conversation with you. You'll notice subtle things within that conversation. Either they ask you a question that doesn't quite make sense, or it doesn't fit with the conversation that you've been having, or they'll say a phrase or a term that just doesn't seem right. Generally, that's because they're a bot or it's some form of AI. You're not actually speaking to a real person. And a lot of these profiles have pictures that all look like they're professional photographs done in amazing settings. Really what you're after is somebody real. You can see somebody real a mile off because you can tell that their pictures are selfies took on holiday or night out or walking the dog. But it's easy to fall for these dazzling pictures. They look so amazing and the pictures are so professional. Wow, I can't believe this person's matched with me. Yeah, because it's not the real person. Be very wary if you match with somebody who wants to send you a link that takes you somewhere else to another site, or starts telling you some sob story that's something to do with finances. Because what they're doing is they're trying to build it up so they ask you for some of your money. Never, ever share your bank details or your personal details with someone who you've not met in person. Trust me, dating apps are full of these and you need to be fully on guard. Now look, you can meet real, genuine, authentic people who are looking for the same as you on a dating app. Of course you can. But what I am saying is this. You've gone through a breakup, right? You've gone through recovery, you've been hurt, and you've had to pick yourself back up. So if you're ready to date and you want to try the apps, then do it. But go into it with your eyes wide open. Don't get drawn in by somebody love bombing you. Look for those signs early on. Somebody who's telling you they're starting to develop feelings and they can see a future with you before you've even met. Be wary of people who are insecure. If you're worried, consciously worried about how long it's taking you to message somebody back, that's not a good sign, especially if you've never even met them. And always be on the lookout for fake profiles. So just look at your conversation and go, does this actually make sense? Or has there been the odd response from them that doesn't really fit with what we've been talking about? And do the pictures seem real? Are these genuine pictures that they've took in real life? Or are they all professional model looking pictures? They're classic signs that it's a fake profile. So if you're going to start using dating apps, then I wish you the best of luck, but go into it with your eyes wide open. But I'm hoping this video helps you to look out for those things that you need to avoid. And let me know in the comments, have you used dating apps? And if you have, what's your experience? What do you think people need to avoid? But for now, nice one for watching, and I'll see you in the next. Laters.